Hello and welcome to another Access You TV episode on creativity. My name is Michelle Edhouse and as you can see the painting is progressing nicely. Or not so nicely, depending on your point of view. So one of the things that I have had to practice, I have had to learn, I have had to clear out of my space is that absolute need to be perfect. When you are creating in conjunction with other beings, whether that be a canvas, whether that be a person, whether that be a group of people, whatever that be, your point of view sometimes has to get out of the way. So what I would like to invite you to with painting, with art, with creativity of any type is, would you be willing to get out of your own way, to get out of the painting's way, to get out of the creation's way and allow it to be what it desires to be? Now, I am a bit of a control freak, and if you're watching this, the likelihood is that you are too, and that freaks me out. I'm like, how am I going to fix this? I've got water splotches, I've got swirls in the wrong places, I've got, And in the past, I would have gone, fuck, and just totally been, no, can't do this, no, can't have this, no, can't be like this, and painted it out, thrown the canvas out, done whatever I felt was necessary to rid myself of the imperfection. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to leave it like that. I'm definitely not going to leave it like that, because that's just not what I desire to create. From there it might look alright, but when you actually get too close, it's... Anyway, so would you be willing to step out of the rightness and the wrongness? Would you be willing to co-create? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. Now, letting go of control, for some of us, is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. And letting go of control is the one thing that is keeping some of us from being the gift and contribution that we can actually be on the planet. Now, my grandfather was an amazing artist, and he never ever sold a painting. And he did things like paint replicas of the greats, and of course selling a replica of a great is not an easy task. But he did all sorts of things to stop himself from actually being able to put out into the world his creations. And when I started painting, I sold a painting, like, I don't know, I think it was within 6 months of my starting painting. And what I knew was I needed to get whatever it was that I'd created out into the world, and get myself over that place of having to be perfect, having to be what to me was a great master, and just get myself out there, start that process of selling. And when I first sold my first painting, my mother, whose dad it was that was the artist, she was just mortified. She was like, "What do you mean you've sold a painting already?" And all I did was I put it on Trade Me, which is New Zealand's version of eBay, for $1. And I sold it for $1 plus postage. And you know what? It's the best thing I ever did, because I'd sold a painting. Who cares that I only got $1 for it? I'd sold a painting. And so how many of you are stopping you from receiving by not choosing that first sale, that first put it out in the world? You know, Gary Douglas talks about a friend of his who was a clay artist, and who would never ever sell their pots because they weren't good enough. And Gary was like, "What? They're amazing. I'll buy them." "Oh, no, they're not good enough. I can't sell it to you. You know, it's not good enough." And he's like, "Well, consider it a payment towards you being able to buy more clay to get good enough." And he managed to convince them to sell them to him on that perspective, purely because they weren't willing to receive for any acknowledgement of the talent and ability they had. So everywhere you're unwilling to perceive, know, be and receive your talent, and actually receive the acknowledgement of your capacities and creativity in whatever way that is, well, you destroy and uncreate that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. Because, you know what? Being willing to receive acknowledgement for your talents and abilities, for your capacities, is the gift and contribution that you having those talents and capacities be. Because the more we receive, the more we can gift. And the simultaneity of contribution, the gifting and receiving, the simultaneity of that is massive contribution on this planet. So what have you been unwilling to perceive, know, be and receive about your talents and abilities, your capacities, your creativity, that you can now acknowledge, that you can now perceive, know, be and receive that, and start to receive the acknowledgement that others are giving to you already that you've not been receiving. And anything that doesn't allow that, well, you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine boys, shorts and beyonds. So thank you for joining me here at Access U TV. And what else is possible?